Gotta be shitting me.
On his first day at the camp, the recruit was shocked by the scene before him. He discovered that the camp was surrounded by mountains on 3 sides, making it easy to attack but difficult to defend. There was a 99.99% chance of being ambushed by Taliban militants. However, his teammates burst out laughing. In their eyes, the enemy didn't dare to confront the base head-on. But no sooner had they spoken than gunfire erupted from the mountains. A high hail of bullets rained down on the camp, stunning the newly arrived recruits. When they recovered, they immediately grabbed their weapons and returned fire wildly towards the hilltop. Bullets flew in swaths, but not a single clear figure could be seen on the other side. The recruits, seeing this, quickly reported the situation to command. However, the captain remained remarkably calm, as this kind of harassment was nothing new. He glanced at the logbook. Good heavens, 7 times a week, without fail, they treated raiding the base like clockwork. This infuriated the captain. This time, he decided to teach the Taliban a lesson. Upon receiving the order, the mortar crew immediately loaded a 120 white phosphorus shell into the barrel. With a muffled bang, black smoke instantly rose from the distant hilltop. But this raid was just the beginning. For a long time afterward, the Taliban fired shots at the base every few days, disturbing even their sleep at night. The American soldiers were so tormented that they couldn't sleep soundly for nights on end, and they were even afraid to leave their rooms to use the toilet. They had to relieve themselves in their rooms, only daring to take their waste out to dispose of it after confirming it was temporarily safe outside. To completely rid himself of this relentless harassment, the captain had to find another way. First, he hired a group of Afghan militia at a high price to assist with the base's perimeter defense. Then, he led fully armed soldiers into the negotiation building, intending to hold peace talks with the chiefs of nearby villages regarding the attacks. However, before the negotiations even began, American soldiers discovered a wound on the young man, clearly from an American 556 rifle. This meant that there were militants among the local population who had attacked them. Seeing this, the captain didn't waste any time and immediately gave the chiefs 2 choices: either confront them head-on or lay down their weapons and live peacefully. Not only could they become good friends, but the U.S. military would also provide substantial funds to build schools and roads for the area. Seeing such a good deal, the chiefs immediately nodded and signaled the crowd to surrender all their weapons, giving the captain a big hug before leaving.
Highly praised one.
This scene deeply moved the American soldiers, as they could finally relax openly within the base. But the next second, reality shattered that illusion. The Taliban showed up on time, opened fire, and used the place as a shooting range. From the beginning, they hadn't taken the promises made by the U.S. military seriously. Now, the captain was completely helpless. Fortunately, good news finally came from above. An armored vehicle urgently needed to be moved from the base. This gave the captain, who had been living in constant fear, a reason to leave. So he decided to lead by example and personally drive the armored vehicle to its destination. However, while traversing a very narrow mountain road, an accident occurred. A drone suddenly detected an unidentified heat source 200 meters ahead of them. To be on the safe side, the captain immediately ordered the 2 soldiers in the co-pilot's seat to get out and check. They found only a flattened pheasant. Although it was a false alarm, the armored vehicle behind them was in serious trouble.